Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, got hurt on Sunday. It's a compound fracture. Also, he dislocated his right ankle, that same compound fracture on his right ankle and a dislocation. And the video was not pretty. His ankle is just like sideways. It's I don't know. By the way, it was cool to see Jason Garrett coaching for the Giants on the other sideline walk over. That's Dak Prescott's former head coach. So Dak is out for the year. And that's just horrible, man. I like Dak Prescott a lot. I don't really care who you are. It's obvious and it's clear Dak Prescott is a good human being. He's been through a lot. There's a great video of Dak Prescott with Graham Bensinger talking about his life and who he is. And you see some of Dak Prescott's property. And I saw that video a couple weeks ago and I was like, just happy for Dak Prescott. I'm like, that's so awesome. And not only because he got injured, but because of what's going to happen next to Dak Prescott, I feel really sad for Dak Prescott. I feel kind of heartbroken because, to be clear, I like Dak. I think Dak's awesome. I think Dak is I've been critical of Dak for reasons I stand by, but at the end of the day, if you ask me, do you like Dak Prescott or not? Yeah, I really like Dak Prescott. And Dak gambled. Now, people offer me gambling sponsorships all the time. There's a lot of companies out there, people that have big deals with gambling companies, and I don't support gambling. I've turned down the money. I've turned down the opportunities. There is a time and a place to take a risk. Gambling is not that. I don't like gambling at all. I will never have that as part of my brand. I'm just not comfortable with it. I don't like it. I've seen gambling ruin people's lives, like lose their house, lose everything. I've seen that firsthand. And I'm not flippant with money. So I stay away from gambling as a brand, as a company, as a show, everything. I don't want anything to do with it. Now, Dak Prescott gambled and he lost. If you remember last offseason, Dak was offered a $100 million contract. And he turned it down for some little minutia. Like he wanted one less gear on the deal for the ability to renegotiate, all this stuff. And I said at the time, that's a bad idea. Like, don't turn down a $100 million contract. And now, especially after getting injured, I personally really wish that Dak had taken that contract. I so badly wish he had that money. I feel so bad for Dak. You got to understand, Dak is going to come back at some point. He'll heal from this injury. But what he lost here is he lost all his leverage in negotiating his contract. And I don't believe he's going to get offered $100 million again. Certainly not by another team. I don't see the Carolina Panthers, the Patriots, the Saints. I don't see another team offering Dak Prescott $100 million. And I honestly also don't think Dallas is going to do it either. And so I just feel sad for Dak. He gambled and he lost big time. And it's terrible. It's awful. Now, the harsh reality is that this helps the Dallas Cowboys in the short term and in the long term. So in the short term, the pressure's off. They now have Andy Dalton at quarterback. The new coach, Mike McCarthy, pressure's off. Hey, if you have a bad year, guess what? It's okay. Your quarterback got hurt. And kind of people looking at let's see what Andy Dalton can do. Remember, he was a starting quarterback for a long time in Cincinnati. Maybe Andy Dalton can make it happen. Oh, yeah, by the way, Andy Dalton led the Cowboys to victory with 52 seconds left in the game. Like, that's not nothing. That's interesting. And Dak Prescott is Jerry Jones' guy. It's kind of like being the owner's son. I don't know how you coach the owner's son. I don't. And that's kind of what Dak is. And I think that causes somewhat of a problem for anybody who coaches for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm curious how the Cowboys do without Dak Prescott. I think it might actually do better than people realize. Now, long term, if Dallas decides to give Dak Prescott a long-term contract, they just got a discount. There's no other way to say it other than that. They're not going to have to pay Dak Prescott as much money as they would have before. And for that reason, I feel so very bad for Dak Prescott. He not only got injured, he just lost out on a ton of money. And I side with the players most of the time. I really want players to get paid. And so the fact that he gambled, turning down a $100 million contract, and then got hurt, losing big time, I just feel sad for Dak Prescott. There's no other take other than that. I don't know how you. I don't. What I don't understand is people who just hate Dak Prescott. He seems like a very good human being, a good person, a good guy with a good heart. And I watched what happened on Sunday. The video was horrific. There's that video with his leg sticking sideways. Cowboys players have their hands on their head. Guys are like mouths open. And I just, in that moment, I felt immediately concerned about his contract. And I felt just bad for Dak Prescott. I feel horrible for him because he gambled and he lost big time. And he also, by the way, got injured. It's just, none of it's good. And I feel bad for Dak Prescott. And it's not much more to say than that. It's just a terrible, terrible situation for him.